Good morning, beautiful people. Just got back from a leg workout. Gonna drive back home. Wanted to record this video to document just some updates, as well as indirectly give me some sense of urgency to think, because as of recently I have not been thinking as much as I should, especially in a month like this, which is the last month of the year. Today's December 6th, 2024, and I have officially 25 days left of the year. 25 days. Just think about this. It almost felt like yesterday, maybe like a few yesterdays, where I was documenting my 2023 goals and what I wanted to achieve in the year, and my homeschool persona plan, and to get Clive to 10K per month. Year later, everything has transcended itself tenfold. My goals, more or less, have been achieved, and I want to talk about that today as well, because there are some 2024 goals that I still need to solidify and achieve, and some of them I'm thinking within 25 days, at least where the progress I am with them right now, might not be realistic for me to achieve that. So it might have been a misalignment of goal setting expectations, or I just wasn't training hard enough. I'm specifically referencing to the Nordic curl. So one of my 2024 goals was to achieve my first Nordic curl and reverse Nordic curl. One of them I have, which like just over a week ago I achieved a reverse Nordic full body weight. But a Nordic curl is, in my opinion, much harder. It takes a lot more hamstring strength, and training for it can be hard, especially digressing or regressing the progressions into a like trainable format. So I think I could have been more clear this year to solidify that and regiment it so that I can train more efficiently every session. Like today I just did a Nordic, like in my leg workout I did Nordics, but it was a little bit like I couldn't track the progress properly, because I've been using different bands, I've been using different elevations, I've been using different forms, like it's all kind of all over the place, and it's not what's the word, like it's not stable, it's not the same every time. And I know for hypertrophy training or strength training, you should keep more or less the variables the same, except either like reps or weight. So anyways, it's an update on these goals. I guess I'll list my 2024 goals off the top of my head, because I memorized all of them. So number one, which changed halfway in the year, is finances. My goal at the beginning of the year is to get Clive to 15K per month consistently, and we knocked that out of the park after the first 3 months of us in the year. So we've been over 15K for the past 8-9 months, which is awesome. And so June, July-ish, I changed that goal to 20K, or no, April, May, I changed that goal to 20K a month. I got there. And then now what I have it as is 50K per month consistently. And we have not achieved that yet. Milestone. Last month in November, we hit $41,000 in revenue. However, our profit was negative. We actually were in the red because we spent a lot of money on a new audience partnership we're working out with this guy named Jesse. He's an awesome dude. But we bought 3 audiences from him that are dynamic AI audiences for Facebook. We also invested in a sales coaching program by Eli that's helping Matt close sales. We are spending around like $6K, $7K a month in ad spend. And Matthew hasn't really, as of the past few weeks, hasn't closed any deals from that. So that's kind of bringing in a lot of expense. And then we paying for our softwares. We paid for a business trip in Orlando. Like, the expenses were stacking. We also invest $3K a month in crypto total. Sorry, $1,500 a month, I believe. We invest $1K into Bitcoin every month, DCA, and then 300 in ETH and 200 in Solana. Anyways, yeah, November was a slow and tough month, and unfortunately, this may be a limiting belief. But usually December is the slowest month in roofing. That's totally a limiting belief when I say it out loud. Like, we can hit 50K this month if we really push hard, but we really did try in November. Like, Matthew and I had the sense of urgency that like November was probably going to be our last shot to get 50K, and we were 9K below that. We invested in the audience too, especially so we can get that like extra boost, but it took us a few weeks to implement, and it's been slow. And so 50K, I mean, it's the 3rd iteration of my financial goals of finances, and you know, I could give myself grace, but at the same time, yeah, it's just a lesson that maybe I need to work harder, or I need to set more realistic goals. I definitely think it's realistic, because I had that goal since like July. I had 6 months to work on that goal, but we didn't get there. It's a little bit frustrating. But then again, like, I can give myself grace and patience and forgiveness because I transcended my life situation simply because of the money I was making at just 15K per month, 20K per month. Matthew and I live independently in an apartment in Austin. I'm no longer bound to school or the expectations of my parents. I have something working for myself, and I've gained all these skills, knowledge, and experience in business to sustain myself really for the rest of my life. So indirectly, my life absolutely changed this year. No, directly and both indirectly, my life changed for the better financially. So I'm proud of myself. But at the same time, I have so much more to improve. Additionally, my second goal of the year was full fitness. So that was the mobility aspect of my progress this year. More or less, it's why do I keep saying more or less? Like, it's either a yes or no, did I achieve this goal? So the way I defined it was I broke down full fitness into 4 parts: spine, hips, shoulders, and hamstrings. So do I have full range mobility in these aspects? And then there's a couple of exercises that I can put to the test to just verify. So like for back, for example, can I hold a back bridge for a long time and like breathe really, really deep breaths? Do pullovers as well, like heavy pullovers, dumbbell pullovers with like your back against the bench. Can I, for shoulders, you know, do I have full range mobility with my shoulders? Can I mean, for that, really, you can test through like mobility with a mobility stick. Pullovers to an extent as well. Hamstrings, pretty simple. It's like just a full forward fold, or like doing the splits. Hips is also doing this splits, holding deep squats, pancakes, things of that nature. So basically just a test. Can I hold really, really stretched positions and be mobile in those positions? And I would say I can hit most of those exercises, if not all of them. I just probably need to warm up a little bit. But I'd say that I checked that goal off completely. The third one is called flexibility first, and this comes down to my 6 different exercises, flexibility exercises, you could say, that I wanted to achieve. So number 1 was cold splits. Can I hit the splits cold with no warm-up? I will have to test that, but I think yes. The answer is yes, because sometimes I just drop a split in front of my living room when I'm with my mom sometimes, and she's like, oh my gosh, like she looks away. It's kind of funny. And I can just do it. Number 2 is a full Nordic curl, which I just mentioned earlier. Number 3 is a reverse Nordic curl. Number 4 is a handstand push-up. Number 5 is a seated pancake to floor. And then number 6 is sissy squat to pull. So a really deep sissy squat. So really deep sissy squat, really deep seated pancake with like your legs maybe like 170, 160 degrees. And then everything else I mentioned. So the 2 handstand push-ups as well, like it's actually a lot of work. That's probably the what's the word? The most projected expectation out of alignment of expectation I had this year, because I had to learn not only the handstand, and there's so much that comes with that, like balance, mobility, shoulder strength, core, finger strength. Like when I really researched on how to hold a handstand, even that 30-second handstand, you have to do so much training just for that. Especially if I was starting from scratch this year, and I couldn't even like hold a 10-second back to wall handstand. So now I'm much better. I probably can hold like maybe a 10-second handstand, but I definitely need like assistance from the wall, and maybe could hold it like 30 seconds, but I still fatigue. Like if I'm pushing 30 seconds, man, it's really hard. Pike push-ups I've been working on this year to help with the actual pushing movement of a handstand push-up. But freestanding handstand push-up is a very complex movement. It's probably one of the most advanced calisthenics movements. And I think maybe within the next year, if I train every month really hard for it, I think I can achieve it. That's what I told myself last year, that I'm gonna train every single month. I just didn't have that urgency or consistency or system built to facilitate achieving that goal. So that's on me. But anyways, all of those except the handstand and Nordic, I think I could achieve. If I can do a test later this year. Less than 25 days, I have to do that. As for the number 4 is freedom, which I achieved, because my definition of freedom in the beginning of this year was to maintain financial independence in Austin with my expenses paid for, and independence from my parents. To more define independence from my parents, like I don't really have any ties to them anymore financially, so I don't have to depend on them for like food, water, that kind of thing. I do have like my T-Mobile carrier and like, I don't know, random subscriptions and my insurance, like all that is under my dad. So technically like I'm tied to that still, but to an extent, like I could pay for it. I could pay for it myself at this point. I pay for my rent myself, even though my parents offered to. So I'm really proud about that. So I pay for my own rent. I pay for my own food. So yeah, independence was achieved, and Matthew and I are living pretty good in Austin. Number 5 was friends. So meet 3 like-minded individuals in person, and I did this year, which is awesome. At that point, I was already thinking of Kai to be one of these peers or friends, and I met him at a at the Serve Others agency lottery, which is crazy because that wasn't like, we won that. We didn't even intentionally plan that, but we both just happened to win the lottery. So it's crazy. I met Matt Shields, which is a huge mentor in person. I've met Luke Belmar, Cole Rom, and Paul Soladino all in person this year, which is so cool. But I really developed a good relationship with Cole Rom and Matt Shields, like intricately. Like I could call them right now and they would probably pick up, and I text back and forth with them, which is just so crazy to think about. I have Cole Rom's phone number and we text about business, like so cool. And then the other thing, so how I more defined that was like a peer, a mentor, and a mentee. So I would say I had some mentees like this year. I've already knew one of them was online though. His name's Alexi. His alias was Frank. I have a video on this YouTube channel, me explaining how I met Frank, but his name's Alexi. He's based in Canada and he wants to start a business, and he was in the same position as me. So I've kind of been monitoring him and helping him in the background, staying in touch with him, giving him advice and stuff. And yeah, I'd say we've become friends, so it's really cool. And then another mentee, I mean, like, I'd say in the beginning of the year, maybe last year, was Adam, like my friend from San Antonio. But to an extent, like, calling him a mentee, like, I don't feel obligated. I just see him as a friend, you know. I see him more as a friend and a peer than a mentee, because, I mean, at one point I was giving him, like, advice and telling him what I've learned and stuff, but I think that's just what a friend does, you know. Mentee's more like, you literally have, like, an apprentice, like, asking advice from you and stuff, and, I mean, to some extent, that's what Alexi has been doing. Number 6 was 5 courses. Number 7 was 50 books. And so I have like 5 more books I need to read, but I definitely took more than 5 courses this year, which is awesome for my education and my learning. Number 8 was faith. Faith in myself, in God, and in my vision. And I'd say I'm more closer to God than ever. I'm more faithful than ever in myself and in my goals, because I literally have proof that I can achieve my goals within a year. So that's also achieved. Number 9 was fraternity. So finding a like-minded, go to a networking event, like find a networking. I've been to 2 this year: Capital Club event, a Call Rom event in person. Such an amazing experience. The Growth House was like one of my highlights this year. I went to RoofCon. I went to the Serve Others in-person event. I just realized my parking is horrible. But yeah, that was also achieved. And number 10 was Finances 2.0. I'm not gonna achieve this one, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, why would I even have this? My goal was to have $10,000 in my bank account. And this is actually inspired by a Charlie Morgan video in his Oscillation Mindset video, where he's like, if I break, at one point it was 1K, but if I break that standard, then I'm like, but then it became 10K. So if I break more than 10K in my bank account, right? Now I think of it like, I want to be investing my money. Like, I want to try to have as little as money as possible in my bank account, because it shows, like, 1, it builds urgency for me to make more money, and 2, it's like, why would I let my bank give me interest on the loan I'm giving them the money to do with it, when I could be investing it myself or buying assets and stuff? And to be frank, I literally just went on a shopping spree. I brought clothes for Black Friday, and I regret some of that purchasing decision, because like my old buying habits kicked in again. I was like, oh, I need this, and it's like, and so I have been using money unwisely this year. I will admit I'm not perfect, but things like crypto and the courses and education and the health products and the like skincare products and these kinds of like esoteric things I really wanted to buy in the beginning of the year. I bought all of them through my wealth generation. I'm wealthy by no means. Like, well, I'm wealthy to some extent. The wealthiest man is the one who wakes up with the least pressure on his chest, right? And so you don't have to have a lot of money to be wealthy. But yeah, so I have been generating a lot of wealth this year. I will say that. All in all, this year was good for my goals. So if I recap, the only three, technically two, four. So the finances of $50K per month, Nordic curls and handstands, and then the $10K in cash bank account. I never achieved that, and I probably won't plan to in the end of the year. But then again, like, can goals change? Like, if $10K a month in my bank account was a goal of mine after like a certain point, can I just change that? To an extent, the other two are things I still want to achieve, so I would like say I failed on those. But the last one, the $10K in bank account, like, the more I learned about money this year, about Bitcoin, about central banking, about the fiat system, the more I trust less in giving other people the power over my money. So I realized I'd rather have $10K in Bitcoin than in my bank account. And then have some Bitcoin. I got my Tangent wallet this year. Got my secure crypto keys. So yeah, it's been great. As for 2024, I've been thinking what my goals should be, 2025, what my goals should be and like what I should strive to achieve. I think instead of a $50K a month agency, it's a $40K a month profitable automated agency. That's been my like kind of go-to goal. Matthew and I are both profiting $20K each from the business. We have it automated and delegated where we're working less than we are now. So we have like a CSM, a media buyer, or a sales team. We're working maybe like 10, 16 hours a week, and we can pursue other things next year, like traveling, and at that point it's more automated, right? So I want to achieve that. I also want to get some Bitcoin. I think 1 Bitcoin could be a realistic goal. Right now, Bitcoin just crossed 100. It crossed 100K yesterday, December 4th. Might have been before that. But that's awesome. That's such a huge milestone for Bitcoin and adoption. But Bitcoin hit 100K, so the question is, can I generate more than 100K next year? And I think the answer is yes. If it's business money, I think, yeah, I can definitely invest in that. And Matthew and I are already investing in 1K a month, into Bitcoin. So that's 12K right there. We can generate, I think, way more than that if we're getting 40K a month profit, So yes, I think that's realistic. So those are some financial goals. I think other things I'm just brainstorming before I, make this Canva template in my thing and print it out on my wall. Like other of the 10 F's goals framework, finances, fraternity, maybe get a girlfriend. I don't know if that's a realistic goal, if I even should pursue that, but I don't know. Maybe go on like 2 dates or something just to get the experience, because just over a week ago, or just under a week ago, I went on my first date this year. And that was awesome. I like the experience. I think it's helping me build confidence as well. So maybe that could be a thing. Maybe another one's like go to like 2 countries. I definitely think traveling will be a cool thing next year. We're gonna be starting the Austin Penthouse next year as well. I gotta text or Slack my hold on, I'll be right back. So if I show you right here, right? These are my 10 goals, 10 F's. So that's 50K. You can just read it here. I hope you can read that. But yeah, these are the 50 books I'm reading too. So right now, here I can put Love Secrets, Imagine Heaven,
Here's the fraternity, here's the faith. Those are the flexibility first. So yeah, actually I put it right there. Instead of a freestanding handstand push-up, I changed the goal to a 30-second freehanding stand push-up. So I have 25 days to achieve that. I think that's realistic. So I need to remind myself. I need to start training my hamstring or handstands at 30-second hold. You can see here, find and meet 3 like-minded individuals, Matt Shields, Kai, and Alexi. Here I got the 5 courses. You can read those there. But yeah, I'm like very, very proud of myself for the progress and achievements this year. I'm so excited for 2025 and like me just growing even more in all of these aspects. Fitness, I think I'll have more like physique-based goals. Like I think to some extent, I know it sounds super red pill, but I want like really developed masseters and to chewing. So there's this philosophy called Fletcherism, and it's basically the philosophy where you chew your drink and drink your food. So you want to masticate so hard with your food, with the sides of your mouth, like inside your palate, instead of using your cheeks to chew and swallow. Oh shoot, it came off again. My power outlet came off. But anyways, and I think that's a good goal because, I don't know, I think like I could shape my face a bit better. Oh, the other thing, I just remembered what I need to add to my 18-year-old SOP. I'm turning 18 next year, which is awesome. And I have this SOP, or like a checklist, you could say, of what to do when I turn 18. And I just realized the other thing I can add here is an MSE. MSE was kind of one of my indirect goals for this year, but I definitely think for next year I can work to achieve that. MSE is an appliance that you put on the palate of your mouth to expand your palate, your not mandible, your maxilla. You expand your maxilla by splitting it in half, and you expand it like this, so it will give you better airway, better breathing. It's jaw hacking, essentially. And I've learned this over 2 years ago. I've been excited ever since, but the problem is you need to be over 18 to go through the process. And since I moved to Austin, at that point I probably had financial qualifications to buy MSE, which is like, I think it's around 20 to 30K. Which actually right now I probably still can't afford if I don't take business money out of the business. So I need to save for that or just make more money. And then I also need to have like an adult to do the x-rays and stuff, because I tried booking an appointment with an MSE provider earlier this year, but they're like, yeah, in order to get x-rays, you have to have your parent or guardian, and I didn't feel like called to have mom just come here just to get that x-ray. But it's at the point in my life where my skull's starting to solidify, like the shape of my head, because I'm turning older. Usually around 16, 17 is actually when your skull shape starts to solidify. But I think I can, when you install MSE, your palate, your entire face structure can change because it becomes a little bit looser, and I'm still relatively young, right? So like it'll be much easier to move versus like if I was a grown adult in my 30s. So I think it's the time. All that to say, I think it's the right time to get MSE, especially since it's a priority. It's time sensitive. Mewing and chewing better. Using mastic gum. I bought this mastic gum, Greco gum. Chewing that maybe like at least once a week, twice a week, to give me better masseter muscles. So that, I think that will be a physique goal. I think the other one will be, I think another one will be like getting a more leaner, shredded like ab physique, because I think my abs could be a lot better. you know? I mean, like, I'm relatively lean right now, but I want the Mr. Belmar type physique. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of thinking to myself, but yeah, speaking of the 18 SOP, this is everything I'm kind of brainstorming. If you can see this. Yeah, I think you can see that. So I have like credit and banking. I have savings, make my own Amazon account, save this for Capital Club and traveling tickets, Apple Card, Coinbase account. Like I can finally open my own crypto accounts and exchanges, dating profiles. I can get MSE. This is actually a big priority. Traveling masterclass. I took notes on a YouTube video. I have to do something for like, just like the 18-year-old SOP, you know, maybe get a 401k savings, create bank accounts, renew my driver's license. I think I need to apply for like this draft thing for the US. I forgot what it's called, but all that to say, I am turning 18 and I'm excited for that. I'm literally less than almost a month from now, a month and a week from now. So it's really cool. There's my brother making some smoothies. So yeah. So leaner face, get MSE, plans, change my facial structure. I think that's a pretty good goal. Maybe I should have like a Photoshop version of me and I could visualize that as like the picture. Better ab physique. Maybe I could get like, I don't know, a bigger chest, more broad shoulders, bigger biceps too. That's all subjective though. I gotta actually like tangibly, it has to be measurable, you know? Like even the masseter thing to an extent, it has to be measurable, right? So maybe it's like my masseters are more pronounced than my like cheekbones, or like my cheeks are less pronounced than my masseter's muscle, and I get that kind of like hollow look, you know? That sounds so red pill and black pill, and I used to be like really insecure about that. Like if I don't achieve this, I'm not attractive. I do not all think about that anymore because I become more secure as I got closer to God, and I made the realization that the only reason why people are insecure is because of a lack of love, right? But if God loves you infinitely, and that's really all you need, then you can find peace and security and a sense of belonging with him. So once I accepted Christ and God to be forefront of my life, which is also another huge achievement of this year, I'm not really that insecure anymore. Maybe to some extent a little bit, but like when I stated that statement about my face structure over a year ago, I would have been like super insecure, like I don't have this yet. But I think it's just a good goal to achieve, right? Because I think attractiveness does matter and it's important, but it's not like I find my sense of worth whether or not like how I look. I think I look pretty decent now. It's not like I'm not attractive now, and if I don't achieve this, then I'm not attractive. But I can just maximize my attractiveness. That's why it's called looks maxing, right? Just optimizing it so you can look better. I think I have a lot of room for improvement, and that's the case for every parts of my life. I can finance max, I can crypto max, I can credit card max, I can physique max. It's just the maxing concept in general. It's just getting to your fullest potential. You know what I mean? So anyways, side note, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Making 2025 goals. I'm definitely going to reflect more about December, and I think I'm going to go more in depth on like my specific achievements for this year. I know I kind of glossed over them in this video, but like really seeing how that impacted my life, what I learned from those moments, what I've learned from my growth and becoming a different person in the past year, just really self-reflecting over myself and my self-achievements and the impact that will have. I think that'll be really important. So I'll do that in a few days or weeks. December's almost to a close. Well, reiterate my goals. Yeah, traveling I think is definitely a good one next year. Like going to a few countries. Some of the bucket list countries I have, and if you see there, you can see those pictures right there next to the goals. I have pictures of places I want to visit eventually. That'll be cool. But anyways, yeah, I think we're good. Elijah Kim, 17 years old, December 6th, 2024. Big things are coming. All right, peace out.